Okay. Hello, world.
Hello, everyone.
Happy Sunday. Happy Oscar Eve. I'm sure everybody's ready to get in their red carpet vibe going, right?
Yes, ready for the red carpet.
And the winner is Team Mastuka.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Welcome to our chat and sip. And there's another one. This is what? Episode 3?
Episode 3. So
we in there.
Check out our previous ones on our YouTube channel. Subscribe. Hit the bell for the notifications.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Now, we have today, the drink of the day is iced tea.
Yes.
As we start to think about summer and all of those things that come along with. But shout out to this Arizona half and half light iced tea. Is lit. It's really good. It's tasty. And I'm enjoying it. And what do you drink?
I have actually the 4 C's peach iced tea.
Oh, very good. All these are great. Except for that. You know, we have a lot to go over today and get to. And we're going to need our tea. Maybe something else.
Yeah.
These conversations are going to get started. But anyways, glad everyone hopefully will be joining us today. But we have a lot to get to, as I said. And the big issue today and the theme, if you want to say it like that, is discussing, and it's not anything positive, unfortunately, but the excessive violence that has happened to begin 2021.
Oh, yeah.
So 2020, everybody's like, oh, we can't wait for 2021. We felt the same way, yeah? I know I did. I was like, okay, let's see if we can, move past this pandemic or at least get this on, the show on the road and get some improvement and all that good stuff. Well,
what a way to start the year.
Yeah, we didn't think we were going to start with all this violence. I mean, we're not talking about the virus attacking people. We're talking about people attacking people.
Yeah.
Shall I start?
Yeah.
So as we know, we talked about it, I think, a little bit on the last one, but boy, can't
It just continues.
grasp the concept of what happened on January 6th at the Capitol, that insurrection, okay? The incitement of a riot, the drama, everything unfolded, almost like something out of a movie. I mean, I was like, is this a movie?
Yeah, is this real?
It took me back to some poltergeist. They're here. I was like, what? So yeah, that happened. All of this craziness resulted in people injured, people killed, like all unnecessary, basically some cult-like behavior that was pretty much all radicalized and basically promoted by none other than, Trump, who was in the office. Shouldn't have been, but he was in the office and started all that, right?
Yeah. Boy.
He, radicalized those followers, and those people were all the way up in a bad way. They were trying to create violence and thinking they were going to overturn the election. Who thought that? That still, boggles me. I mean, come on. That just was not going to happen, okay? So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that Capitol violence, but that set the tone in the start of the year where, we were hoping for some calm and, like I said, progress with the whole coronavirus and COVID-19 issue. But instead, we start with some fools acting up, creating this ruckus at the Capitol.
Yeah, unnecessarily.
I had to sip that tea. Oh, I need another sip.
Yeah. Yeah, on that note, because stuff we have to talk about today.
For real. So, like I said, the Capitol was one thing. Well, this guy Trump, right? He continued to fuel more fire. Just pouring this gasoline almost like it's no big deal, right?
Yeah.
So when we mention the virus, we can't leave out what's become another problem that has gone up astronomical rates, like basically 150% increase, guys, on Asian hate crimes. So unacceptable. We definitely do not like hearing about these attacks on our Asian brothers and sisters. That's horrible. Super oh, I just can't even begin to tell you, like super inappropriate, just uncalled for, shouldn't be tolerated, and no one should be subject to those crimes. So that's been happening. And again, I blame Trump because he's the one that tried to blame China and have people having these negative views who were ignorant toward Asian people in this country, who many of them were born here. Okay. But trying to say all these things like, oh, they're the virus, the Chinese virus and all that. That's BS. Yes. Luckily, I'm trying to keep it PG.
Yes,
but that's complete bad data, garbage, incorrect. Okay. That is not how the virus started. That has nothing to do with it. And Asian people are not a virus.
No. So.
Now, hate against Asians is a crime. Okay. That's a virus because it's not something that should be happening here. I mean, one thing that I want to speak specifically on one incident, I mean, it's been like all over throughout the U.S., I guess a lot in LA and California area, but New York. Well, one incident that stood out for me in New York, right? It was, let me take a sip. Lord, it was a gentleman who had a violent history of, being criminal to begin with, right? So this elderly woman, minding her business, walking, doing nothing. This dude attacks her. What?
Yeah. Come on, New York. We're better than that.
Yeah, he attacks this woman. And then you have, a horrible attack. These people, bystanders, like guards or whatever their so-called role was supposed to be, right, in these luxury condos, they just close their door like, anyways, who cares?
What happened? And then nothing, even after the fact, the guy left, they still did nothing to go and try to help her. And that's not how I remember New York.
Yeah, and it's not acceptable. I mean, the thing is that I understand if people get scared, like you don't know what type of things can unfold, like during the act. Like, ideally, still there would be a hero or someone trying to distract or, intervene. But let alone, you're supposed to be guards or whatever you are. And even if you were just, people chilling on the street, you would try to help this lady. Let's call 911. Let's try to do something, instead of just like closing the doors and ignoring it. And that's the problem with this country. A lot of people just ignore things or act like they don't exist or just, go with the status quo of, oh, well, not my problem. Wrong. It is your problem. It's all of our problem. We all have a unique duty to serve this country and to definitely do right and do positive things to, help others, help ourselves, all these things, right?
Yeah, whether it's in uniform or not in uniform.
Exactly. You should be an active citizen doing the right thing.
Yes.
It don't cost you nothing to do the right thing. Everybody at this point was born and they should be, wanting to do the right thing because you would want the right thing done for you.
Yeah.
I know I do. So, that was very troubling. And I guess that we could open it up, but it's like, what do you think that, the guards should have been suspended or do you think people reacted or what do you think? I mean, I personally think that they definitely should have been suspended.
Yeah.
Because that was just wrong.
I mean, it's still, it's outside of their property and they should have definitely did something. I mean, not saying at the time of the assault happened,
be a little scared.
You don't know what that person might have, but at least after, at least helping the lady up and
call a 911. Come on, ambulance. We need some help. Something. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know, but I don't know.
Yeah, that was definitely one that definitely struck us as like, wow, we like down to this where we're not even helping someone after the fact.
That's ugly. So that was bad. So again, this whole negative behavior and not caring and being apathetic and, just like, oh, well, not my problem. It is everyone's problem. To do the right thing, we have to do. And on top of that, it's everyone's role and active duty to help others. That's all to it. We all need some help at one time or another in life. So you can't just be like, well, I'm not going to need help, so I don't have to help. And it's not like you do it for show or you need it, for looks. You do it because it should be part of who you are if you're a decent person.
Yes.
Facts. That's how I see it. But anyways, it's been so violent this year. And this is just crazy. I mean, the violence that happened last year carried into this year, but like with a vengeance and a bang.
Yeah.
The other things, I guess, to discuss, we've had a lot of other violent crimes happen with like
the mass shootings.
Oh, I didn't want to say it.
Yes, and that's like really like on the uptick, which is like surprising and really shouldn't be the case. I mean, we're already going through a lot with the
Pandemic
virus.
and all of
Yeah,
that,
the
yeah.
pandemic alone is, killing people, the silent killer. And now we have to worry about, people killing, like you brought up, people killing people. Not on watching out for the virus, not watching out for people.
Yeah.
And
And it's just so disturbing. Like, I mean, for example, right? Some of the more recent ones that have happened. So Colorado, in Boulder, Colorado, who does that? So there was a guy who went into a supermarket and just started shooting people outside in the parking lot, in the store. He didn't care. There was no rhyme or reason, it seems. I mean, we don't know if he had prior issues with, any employee there. But either way, dude, like, what's wrong with you? Who does that? You can't be going up in there acting a fool. I mean, you gotta, act right. I mean, violence doesn't solve anything. I mean, it definitely led him now a criminal record. His life's over. Okay. So that happened. We had the other one, right? It was in Atlanta. Actually, this one was before the Boulder, Colorado one. So we had the Atlanta shooting with the different spas.
Yeah. 8 people was killed, and that condolences definitely go out to those families and
Yes.
from the other ones as well.
Oh yeah, in Colorado there were 10 people killed, and definitely condolences go out to those families. And sorry to hear all this craziness is even happening in 2021. What I will say, let's get back to specifically with the Atlanta shooting. I know they had talked about in the beginning, since it was like a lot of spas and everything Asian owned, or either at least employees were primarily Asian. They were looking at this targeted Asian hate. Is there an issue with women? I mean, these are groups that, unfairly are attacked or targeted most of the time. Unacceptable, but it happens. So, I still believe there could have been a little bit of Asian hate. Who knows? The guy claimed he had a sex addiction. I think he was full of it. But
that's
that's a whole other story.
I think just something to get lesser charges, something, because it was way too random why he chose those places.
Exactly. So that was bad. And then more recently, we had the Indianapolis FedEx shooting, where the shooter killed 9 people. And this guy used to work there, from former employees. I don't know if he was fired or terminated or whatever happened to him, but he clearly had, lost it. And he went in there and they said he had some mental health issues, which, like I said, mental health or not. Listen, I work with mental health people all the time, and I work and support those, and I'm definitely all for getting treatment. Oh boy had a problem. His parents tried to help him, but apparently he wasn't interested in the treatment. That's a problem. So, like, that's not an excuse to say, well, I was mentally ill, I committed a crime. We don't care if you well, sing, whatever. You don't commit crimes, period.
And
get
the help you need.
And support. Like, come on. And you definitely don't need weapons when you're not in your right state of mind.
Right.
Come on now. That's just asking for trouble, right?
Yeah.
But one thing I want to say about all these shooters who were doing any of the mass shooting, they were all young. Like the Boulder, Colorado guy was 21. The Atlanta, Georgia guy was 21. And the FedEx guy was 19. Oof, a teenager.
Yeah.
Meaning a young adult at this point. But what they all had in common was they were either white males or light-skinned, light bright, almost white, probably at least passing as white males. And not one of them was shot, violently attacked. None of that happened.
No.
These are people who killed several people. I mean, we're talking about what? We did the math. We say 9. These are people, not numbers like, oh, that's 9 pieces of candy. But anyways, 9, 8, and 10, that's almost 30 people. Okay. All these people did all this devastation, caused all this trouble, no roughing up and nothing. They walked out like casually, like, okay.
Yeah.
No issues, no big takedowns. I mean, they had, maybe SWAT team involvement once in certain cases, but honestly, it was no violence. They didn't shoot the people that, the perpetrators of violence.
Yeah, they were able to walk out, even if they don't hands up, they have to worry about no repercussions.
Yeah, they'll have their day in court. Their trial will be, low key. Not a big deal. Unreal. But had they been black men or people of color that were like obviously people of color, Latino, anybody else with a darker shade of brown, might not have been so so lucky. They probably wouldn't have been so lucky. Even after killing those people, it's like they walked away free. But I guess this brings us to like another issue. Again, violence and violence and more violence. You know, we're going to talk shortly about some of the recent police shootings. But again, let's just talk more about like how, you know, again, the color of your skin plays a role on how you're treated in the justice system, let alone by police. Because, you know, majority of the people of color who are shot and killed for petty things like maybe, oh, you know, traffic violation. Maybe this person was trying to sell some fake cigarettes, a counterfeit $20 bill. I mean, that's all, not to say innocent, but you don't get shot for that, and yet you kill all these people, and you just get a little walk out in some handcuffs.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah, like I'm definitely troubling with that.
Yeah, I don't get it. So obviously the big talk at this point leads us into, and then we'll talk more specifically about some more recent police shootings, right? Police brutality and shootings, negligent shootings. But anyway, let's talk about 420. I know people, what they might be thinking about 420.
Yeah.
We're not going to get into that. But what we're thinking about 420 is we want to talk about what happened with that dude, Derek Chauvin, in that verdict for murdering George Floyd.
Yes.
So, of course, he was charged, and they, you know, decided the verdict would be that he was guilty on all three of the counts that they had brought up against him. Just a refresher, if you guys didn't know, he was up for second-degree unintentional murder, which is considered felony murder, okay? Third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter, all big charges. I mean, I wouldn't want any of those on my record. If I'm a cop, well, he'll never be a cop again, but, you know, that's embarrassing, right? So it was a unanimous decision. All 12 jurors are like, he's guilty, and you had to be beyond blind if you missed that one.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care who you are. You definitely saw that he should have been convicted, right? Because you don't do that. You wouldn't do that to a roach. I mean, 9 minutes and change on somebody's neck. Come on. I mean, I'm sorry, but I would thought his knee would have been tired. I mean, let alone, like, you know, he just was like gunning to kill him. He had a personal vendetta.
Yeah, and had his hand in his pocket the whole time too. And it was like
casual and low key. Yep, applying the most pressure possible. Like, you know, he'd forgotten himself and he thought he was above the law. Wrong, buddy. You're gonna be going to jail. No, sorry, prison for a long time. I can't wait to hear that sentence that he gets handed down. Throw that book at his ass. I'm sorry. Yeah, he needs to get definitely taught a lesson, because you don't get away with that. I mean, I would hope not. There's been plenty of police that have gotten acquitted and gotten away with murder, literally. But I hope this makes an example of someone to show that, listen, you can't just do that and think that just because I'm a police officer, I do what I want. No. Trump got people radicalized believing that, like you above the law because you got this title. Not even. So that's, I know. But let's talk about some other police shootings that actually all leads into the same violent topic, but talking about police brutality. You want to speak on those?
Yes.
Like, why don't you go down the list of who they were, the names of the people, and a little information?
Dante Wright, one was killed in Minnesota. No, he was killed on April 11th. He's only 20 years old. He was
Young man.
Pulled over for a traffic stop.
Yeah.
Like, when they shouldn't have done was run, but he was scared because he getting pulled over by police.
And he was black.
Yeah, he was scared, and he said he called his mother and let her know that he's being pulled over. And how do you scream for the cop to say, "Oh, taser," and then reach for a regular gun? That still baffles me.
I'm not buying that. That was negligence. She'll be the next one, I hope, facing justice, because you're not going to mix up a gun and a taser. And even if you did, like, just say, oh, you fiddling around, like I'm seeing my hands, like, I would look. You have eyes. You went blind, lady. Come on now.
Quick second to even look down, just to make sure.
Yeah, I mean, that
sure
was so
different feel too.
bad. I'm sure, but all that. And that's what I'm saying. It was just pure negligence and didn't care.
Yeah.
And so that was, you said that was Dante Wright in Minnesota, and that happened. Yep.
And Makia Bryant, and 16 years old.
Where was she from?
Ohio. And that was on April 20th.
Yeah, the same day of the verdict.
Yeah.
Let's just, have these police officers kill a teen. What?
Yeah.
And he was not or that police officer, I should say, he or she, I didn't get a good view, but they were not in jeopardy. And again, this is where a taser could have been used. I know that they said that this young lady was about to stab someone else, which is not okay. But at the same time, they didn't mean kill her. You don't bring, they say, a knife to a gunfight. You don't bring a gun against a knife and you can use a taser.
Yeah.
Just saying. Yeah, that's...
They have different no tools. Like I said, once again, the taser should have definitely...
done the trick.
Yeah. And
who else we have more recently, even after the 20th, right?
Yeah, last but definitely not least is Andre Brown. Andre Brown.
He was from
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Yeah, on April 21st. He's actually 40.
Okay.
And again, he's supposedly serving a warrant.
Yeah, they served him all right.
Whatever happened there, and he ended up getting killed. And he was actually unarmed.
Yeah. He was black, though. Oh, and the young lady, the teen, she was black. Wow. Amazing. Just like they talk about driving while black, existing while black, anything, you're at risk. My brothers and sisters, you are at risk. And this goes for black, brown. Brown is in yellow, red, whatever. Fellow Native Americans, Asians, Arabs, people from India, any of you people who are considered a person of color, whether you want to be or not, trust me, you could be the next victim. So stay woke. Like, honestly, I mean, I hate to, bring up the race card, but it's true. There's not equality in this country. And, people are like, oh, well, the Black Lives Matter or this, that. Yeah, Black Lives Matter. But like everybody said, oh, all lives, of course. But the issue is you have to specify Black lives because, we know our lives matter. But it's the question, do other people know that? Obviously not. Especially when it comes to cops, with negligence or corrupt.
Yeah, and we should definitely respect each other as human beings, first and foremost.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Like, I would just, think that should be straightforward, but I guess it's not all the time. Huh?
Yeah, I'm like still shaking my head over all these recent events, and like this year basically.
And we're not even in June. Like, in other words, not even half over. We're like a little over a quarter through the year, basically, and wow.
Yeah, like looking over my shoulders, whether it's COVID, it's gonna be cops.
Yeah, and it's more the cops than not, or a mass shooter. Like you might be, at the grocery store, just giving you, little vegetables, trying to get you a steak, whatever. And boy, Walmart. Remember it was Walmart? Was it last year? So with that prejudiced white guy trying to kill Latinos, he made sure he wanted to go to a place where Mexican people were, again, a person of color, being targeted because of the color of their skin. Unreal. I didn't mean to take it there, but it's just, it's unlimited what we can discuss for examples. We just tried to bring up more of the recent and contemporary examples, but it's so sad and just like one of those things that you never know if you could be the next victim. I mean, you have to definitely, pay attention and try to do the best you can, but it's scary out there.
Yeah.
But I guess I wanted to also get back to, what's his name? Oh, yeah. Derek Chauvin.
Oh, yeah.
So what I want to find out is I'm wondering who thought, it's a big debate even now, was justice served? And I can tell you how I feel about that. And, we can share our view. So I think that, it was served in the sense that what was obvious that this person murdered George Floyd, that was served in the sense that he's definitely going to prison. And he was charged with the crimes that he did do. So that was just really, don't get me started. But anyways, if you want to look at it like that. So at least he got, some type of punitive, I guess, sentences up and coming that he will have to serve. So he did get something, as reprimanded, if you want to say that.
He got something on his record officially. So. Now, like I said, the next step is going to be his sentencing, and hopefully it won't be just
a slap on the wrist. You'll be away for well, I was saying 5, but 2. That's not. I've seen worse happen.
Yeah.
I mean, all these counts carry a good amount of time, but like they said, it could be decades behind bars. But will it be?
Yeah,
that's the question. Not 10 months. Will it be decades? I don't know.
It can and will, 2 different things, especially in this judicial system.
So for me, the verdict is still out to see how that's going to play out. Okay. Secondly, you can look at saying, was justice served? I mean, with all these killings where there were been countless police murders of people of color and been acquitted. It's like, did Chauvin take one for the team? Maybe. But at the same time, it's like, the justice hadn't been served overall. I mean, even poor Breonna Taylor. I mean, all these people that they're, saying their names and there's no charges. Like, that's disturbing. I mean, I'm definitely worried about, those cops who did get off in those cases. But so we have a long way to go. I mean, personally, justice overall, no, it was not served. I mean, for that particular case, and potential others maybe to follow. So I'm trying to say, if there were any, like even this lady who killed the young man in Minnesota, the cop who killed the young lady, the little teen, and then Bryant. Yes, and then the other cop who would have killed Mr. Brown from North Carolina. I don't know what those cases will bring. I mean, these are brand new, right on the coattails of the trial. Like I said, either a week and a half before, one the same day of, and one the next day. Again, who knows how many more we have to hear about on the news before this year is out. I hope none, but I know I'm gonna sip my tea too. Talk about the tea. But no, it's just unfortunate and unfair, unjust. I mean, we have a long way to go. Guys, racism is alive and well. Trump helped mastermind the racism that was already there. It just made it more acceptable for people. It's not like, people, I guess what I'm trying to say is that people who, before might have been super against people because of the color of their skin were more on the down low about it, but they became blatant, just like, hey, here I am. I don't have to hide under my little white hood. I'm just here as is with my baseball cap, if that's what it is. Yeah. And, maybe no hat, whatever you're doing. But, these people, like I said, those people at the Capitol, I'm sure a good majority of them, I could just put money on it to say that they had issues with people of color. Yeah. And it's sad, but that's how it is. A lot of them, Trump supporters are very racist, and they're against any progressive, I don't know, and I say progressive, positive attitudes that people may have, or any positive things that will happen for people of color and moving forward in this country. They're against it. I mean, these are the same people that were against Jews and everybody else too. Yeah. So it's been an ongoing thing, and it's not over, but it's so sad that, here we are in 2021 and still dealing with this. And I don't think it's going anywhere. I don't know about you, but I just think that all we can do is stay woke and stay focused as people. And, like I said, it's not even about always doing the right thing and thinking that you wouldn't be a victim. You could be an angel and be a victim just because of color of your skin. Unreal, unfair, but a harsh truth and reality. Yeah, definitely harsh reality and truth. And hopefully, the more young and youth, continue to fight, carry this on until, hopefully they bring that change. Yeah, or at least more change. I mean, we need to definitely, I do give credit where credit's due, where they're trying to, do some deep diving and looking into, police reform. That's good. That's a good start. But it's like you got to follow it and not just say it, like do it. Like the officers have to be on board with what the new changes are. It's not like, oh, let's defund the police and they still act a fool. Like, no, we got to all be on the same page of what is acceptable. And even in the training and all of that, we need to be, like I said, all on the same page. That's all. I mean, you can't have this person doing that or this not or unclear. No. And we definitely have a lot of work to do as a nation, as a world, to, try to make it much more of a happy, healthy, and safe place for all. Like, we all should be able to coexist no matter what our color, our religion, doesn't matter, our gender. Like, everybody, we're all one person at the end of the day, human beings. Yeah. I'm a human, you're a human, we're all human beings. So we should definitely respect one another, care for one another, and be able to help and coexist with one another. Any closing thoughts? I would say definitely, let's definitely all get along. Stop the hate period. Was hate against Black.
Asian, no,
Yes.
whatever
can't
race
have
they
it.
were, stop the hate. No, we're all human at the end of the day.
Yes. Spread the love and the care.
Yes.
I think that's about it. And if anyone wants to check us out later, if you missed this video, tune in.
Yeah. See our website right at the bottom there.
Oh, yes.
www.
Timas.
Wait.
Oh, I'll get it right.
www.timas2k.com.
Timas2k.com. And we're out.